Hello everyone, welcome back. Let me apologize for not posting, was it last week? I got insanely busy with my full-time YouTube. So yeah, apologies, but I'm back and I have stuff for you. Listen, let's talk about Wicked. I'm sure you're maybe over hearing about it or seeing it, considering every kind of brand, store, everything has done a collaboration with it. Fine. For those of you who don't know, perhaps you haven't opened your eyes for the past year, Wicked is a new movie based on the musical stage show Wicked. So it's a book, stage show, movie. Listen, it's been around for years and years and years, but people are just discovering it now in movie form. It's based on the two witches from The Wizard of Oz, Glinda and Elphaba, who are the Wicked Witch of the West and the Good Witch of the East? South? I don't know. Witches. You know, the bubble one and the green one. And it's basically the story of them before Dorothy lands in Oz and during her time there and a bit after. So it's a kind of like, ooh, the real story of the two witches. Is that their tagline? Like the untold story of the Witches of Oz or something like that. It's good. It's good. Saw the movie. Really good. Great. Love it. Bought the soundtrack on record. People have been so excited for this movie. Like, there's, of course, your theatre fans and your crazy theatre fans who will just love the stage version, and I feel very protective around it, you know? So they were very excited about how it was going to be portrayed in movie style. And although the movie itself has got amazing feedback, amazing reviews, from myself included, we are going to take a little look at some of the kind of things that may have not gone so smoothly, some of the dramas, controversies, and fails are based around this movie. So let's go back in time, before the movie itself even came out, right? Let's talk about the poster. This poster, let me tell you, when people love something, they insist it say exactly the same. And if you've been on the internet, you've probably seen a little bit of drama or people talking about this. So the promos had started to come out for this movie, and the poster was included in that. Now, some of the fans of the stage show were not happy because it didn't look like the original. The original poster has Glinda whispering into Elphaba's ear like this, and Elphaba's doing a bit of a smirk with this bright red lip. You can't see her eyes, and she's just got this smirk on, right? Now, a fan took this and was like, no, that's not how it should be. And they basically took this poster and made it into an identical-ish version of the original, right? So you can see they've basically edited it as much as possible to make it as close to the original Broadway version of the poster. Now let me tell you something, right? Let me tell you why I don't resonate with the, and sorry to Wicked fans, I'm not like super hardcore fan, so sorry to upset you. But let me just tell you why I don't like this edited version and why I actually don't like the original poster anyway, right? So if you haven't seen Wicked, Elphaba's character throughout the show, she's very kind, very gentle, very sound of mind, very like, what's the word? Shy but not shy, sure of herself but unsure of herself. She's not this wicked witch that we see in, like, you know, The Wizard of Oz, and towards the end of the movie, first part of the movie, and towards the end part of the stage show, middle part, end of the first act of the stage show, where she's becoming what people see as a wicked witch, which she isn't. She's being made out to be as such, right? Okay, this is gonna be really random. So, as a makeup artist, me, for a very long time, and very much, I was a makeup artist during a time where Amy Winehouse, right, did her whole red lip and winged liner thing. And that was, not to look like her, but that was a look for a long time, was I just want liner and a red lip. For some people, a red lip to me, this sounds really like, what's the word? Very a particular point of view. A red lip to me is confidence. It's a symbol of the ultimate form of confidence in your makeup, right? A bold lip, whether that be red, whether it be bright purple, whether it be something like that. It's a form of, here's my lip, here's the finishing touch. This is me, I'm a confident, brave person. And why I say that is because A lot of people, again, and I've worked on thousands and thousands of faces, that's not me exaggerating. A red lip was only chosen by a very particular kind of person, right? Whether it be someone who wants to wear it daily, a drag queen, somebody who would only wear it for special occasions but wasn't sure it suited them. Wearing a red lip for the first time is like when you get a haircut or a different style, or you're wearing something that isn't quite you and you go out in public and you think, shit, everyone's looking at me because they know this isn't me. It's that kind of thing. So when I see Elphaba with a red lip, I'm like, that's not her character. She's confident in a different way that isn't needed to show as makeup or as a physical thing. Her confidence and her is in her eyes, it's in her character, it's in her soul. You know what I mean? So when I know this is really super deep about a lipstick, but it's just something I've got over the years. So when I see this original Broadway poster and she looks like this, like, oh, I'm so cheeky, I've got a red lip. I'm like, that's not the character you even get in the Broadway version. You don't get that person. And actually, in the Broadway version, does she even wear a red lip on stage? She has green lips. So I actually think this version, where Cynthia as an actor is connecting with the camera, we see into her soul a little bit more. She's still wearing makeup, but it's like, you know, the natural tones of her skin tone. I think is more realistic to her character. I think it makes more sense. If you've seen the movie as well, you also get to experience the characters, I think, more in depth than you do on a stage show, because you see close-ups of their expressions. You get a lot of emotion. I think a red lipstick is out of character for the character Elphaba. I'm just saying. And that's not just, what's it called? Me being like, oh, red lipstick is only for brave people. That's when you're doing character makeup, when you're designing makeup for a character, you wouldn't give a red lipstick to a character that isn't confident, whether it's for TV, whether it's for a movie, whether it's for a stage show, or evil. I know Wicked isn't Disney. Disney's version of evil, it's beauty. It's confidence in beauty. It's a materialistic version of confidence. You know what I mean? So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I think the original poster they did for the movie is better in terms of character design. I know that's really deep about a lipstick, but like everything, this divided the internet. People who were like on board with it, people who weren't so on board with it. And I swear I actually saw this person be like, what should I do next to edit the poster? And people were talking about, I mean, pretty much what I just spoke about. The lipstick, whether Cynthia's eyes should be covered or not. The smirk, why isn't she smirking? I'm even in that thing, I don't think, even in the original, I don't know why she's smirking. It's like, I have an evil plan. A smirk is an evil plan. She isn't evil. She isn't a Wizard of Oz, but we're seeing that she actually isn't. And she's actually like a human rights activist and an animal rights activist. Why would she be smirking? So Cynthia Erivo, herself the actor, came out with a response to this, and she was not happy. This was her response. This is the wildest, most offensive thing I have seen. Equal to that awful AI of us fighting, equal to people posing the question, is your, something green? None of this is funny. None of it is cute. It degrades me. It degrades us. The original poster is an illustration. I am a real-life human being who chose to look right down the barrel of a camera to you, the viewer. Because without words, we communicate with our eyes. That's such a good point. Our poster is a homage, not an imitation. To edit my face and hide my eyes is to erase me. And that's just deeply hurtful. Okay, so I'm taking Cynthia's side on this because, as I said earlier, okay, here's what we need to stop doing as well. It happened with The Little Mermaid. It happened with every single live make movie that someone does off something, whether it be a stage show, whether it be a something. It is going to be different. It's not going to be exactly the same, because when you'll be critiqued at it's exactly the same, you're going to be critiqued at it's too different. It's not going to be exactly the same. There's going to be artistic interpretation of everything. You have a new director, you have actors, and they're going to want to interpret it the way they do, in a way that, like Cynthia said, pays homage to it. It's not an exact copy. I agree that erasing what she chose to do in that image is rude. I think it's really rude. Imagine just posting a picture, right, online of yourself on Instagram, and someone edits loads of stuff and sends it back to you when you didn't ask for it, and it's like, just thought I'll change these things about you. I don't think you should be. You'd be like, who the fuck are you? Two, also, that's what I chose to do in that image. Cynthia chose, from an artistic point of view and from a actor's point of view, in a role that's actually quite deep to her, and Ariana Grande's role is also deep to her, to look directly in the camera and communicate with you. And you can see, if you've seen the movie and then you look at this poster, you get it. You think, yeah, I know what's in her eyes. I know what's on her mind. I know what's going on here. You know what I mean? And another really, really good point to bring up is the stage show, the poster, is an illustration. Different actors are going to be playing that role, still with that illustration. This is the movie where actors have been cast and we know what they look like. Cynthia was cast for the role. That's our Elphaba in this movie. So why shouldn't we see her eyes? Why shouldn't we see her whole face? There is a connection in this movie with the actors, with the story, with the characters, that is deeper than the stage show, you know, that you can only really do on film because you can get this close up. So I don't think she took it too far. I don't think she was out of order for doing this. However, she was asked about this on a carpet somewhere, and she had this to say.
Oh, thank you for asking. I feel good. I'm really excited. There's nervousness, obviously, because it's a big deal, but I can't wait for people to see it. I'm really excited, yeah.
Are you still, I heard you were upset about the poster. Is that still an issue?
No. I wasn't upset. Just, it was a human moment. I'm very protective of this role, and I'm passionate about it, just like the fans were passionate about this piece as well. And I just had a moment, had a human moment. That's it.
Good for her. Yeah, and you're allowed to have those. We all have moments, right, where we're like, especially when we've created something. Actors are artists, right? This, you know, imagine being an artist and somebody critiques something and changes it when you've put so much heart and soul into it. Good for her for being like, I wasn't upset. I was just having a moment. It's something that's deep to me. What a great response. Great response. I just feel like fandoms need to give it a rest sometimes. Listen, I'm a huge fan of things and I feel connected to things deeply, right? What I would not do is expect everyone's interpretation of that to be the same as mine and then to be offended when it isn't quite like mine, because you still have the original version of what exists, right? Let's take The Little Mermaid, for example, when they made it into a live action. And there were redheads all over the world being like, oh, now Ariel isn't going to have red hair. I felt represented by Ariel when I was younger, and now I don't feel like that. First off, you're an adult. Second of all, you still have the original mermaid. The cartoon still exists and is on all Disney intellectual property. She's in the parks, she's on merchandise. She isn't being erased by the new version or the alternative version or the better version. Also, can we just talk about redheads? Your hair isn't primary red unless you dye it that colour, right? Right. Actually, live action Little Mermaid probably had more of a better representation for the colour of red hair than the original did. If you connect with something that much, the original still exists and is still prevalent, isn't being erased because there is another version. So let's calm down. Let's think about it. Let's be adults and realize that we can refer back to the other version of everything whenever we want. Whenever we want. Okay, so this wasn't the only pre-sale release drama, and I'm sure you've heard about this. Let's talk about the dolls, right? Mattel had to get in on Wicked. Of course, we need Barbies of the two witches, right? Look how great these dolls are, right? You've got Glinda and Elphaba in various outfits, which, by the way, their outfits throughout the whole movie. Great. You have Guy from Bridgerton. Great dolls, really lovely, great time. Packaging, great. Actually, all their merch has been pretty good, to be fair. What could go wrong with dolls, right? What could possibly happen with these dolls? But something that I think you had to be pretty well like Hawkeye to notice, especially as a child, was the website on the back of the boxes. There was kind of a misprint, and instead of having wickedmovie.com on the back, it was Wicked.com, which is actually a porn website for adult movie films. So kids were buying these dolls, or there may be some dolls hidden in a cupboard somewhere for Christmas that have a porn site printed on the back. Now, to be fair, unless you're a collector of dolls, which a lot of the time is just adults and you don't take them out of the box, first of all, that's going to be worth a lot of money. With that misprint, keep the box, keep them in the box, get your kid a new one. But I mean, you're not going to be like horrendously outraged. You're going to understand a misprint. I think if you're a child, don't you just throw the box away? You rip it out the box and get rid. There could have been a lot of damage done. Would a child have looked at the website? I say that actually, but the adult website had actually seen more traffic than they had ever seen in over 12 years. So people really must have been visiting this website. But for me, I'm gonna say it wasn't through people getting when do you get something? Where's a thing, right? When do you get something and you're like, oh, I'm gonna open the packaging, take out what's inside, and then I'm gonna check the website on the back. You don't often. Do you? Do you? What I think this might have been is when this went like crazy and people were like, oh my God, people were directed to this website. People went to the website to see what was on there. And that's when you got more traffic. I do think this could have been a very potentially bad mistake, especially if a kid went onto the website. But I also think that the likelihood of anyone finding it, I know some kids did, and that's awful. But I think it's an easy save, right? Actually, let me go to eBay. I'm just gonna see if Wicked Barbie, Wicked.com. Let's see if anyone's selling. 2024 Wicked misprint, Wicked.com, and it's got the misprint on the back. How funny. It's only $66. Do I buy it? Why would I buy that? Why would I do that? You have a problem. You have a problem. Okay, so despite these mistakes and, a few little dramas, everyone was still super excited about the movie. Everyone was desperate to see it. That or Gladiator, and everyone was super, super excited for the premiere. You have Ariana Grande, super famous Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, who's been in a lot of movies as well, but is also a stage, Broadway, West End legend, right? Fans everywhere. These premieres, loads of people want to be there, right? But it's a ticketed event. You get invited. So I went to the premiere for The Little Mermaid in London. And how it works is you have all your people come in first, like your influencers and your minor celebrities. You queue for this step and repeat, which is like the photography bit where they take a picture of you. I didn't because I'm very self-aware, know that nobody wants a picture of me in the press. So me and my brother just walked along the carpet, waved to some people who knew who we were, so that was nice, and then just went inside and kind of hung out. And then once you're all seated, you go in and there's a screen inside where you're about to watch a movie, and they actually live broadcast the red carpet. Or this was a sand carpet, but not actually sand, it was just beige. So you can see then all the actual celebrities come in. So you could see like Melissa McCarthy, Halle Bailey, all these people coming in, and then all the cast come in, they talk to you, and then you watch the movie, right?
As King Triton, we have Javier Bardem. As Ursula, we have the incredible Melissa McCarthy. There she is. Yay! Ladies and gentlemen, as Ariel, we have Halle Bailey. Come here, family portrait. Everybody get over here. This is our cast, ladies and gentlemen, of The Little Mermaid. Pretty much the entire cast.
But there were people waiting outside the actual area of a premiere. People on deck chairs, just sitting, waiting to see who they can spot. They are very busy, very celebrity spotting moments. And there are people who are occasionally let in at the discretion of I think the event organizers, because if you're dressed up, if you're something, what great kind of content to see people dressed up in the crowd, on the carpet. When I was there was a Instagram account who I was following on the build up to this movie. And they were sitting outside all dressed up. And I was like, I know you look amazing, love your Instagram. They were let in and put in a position where they would purposely be on camera. And so that's how that works. So going to a movie premiere, dressed up, isn't the wildest thing to do if you perhaps want to get a little bit closer to a celebrity or just be in that moment of a premiere. And fans were doing the same for Wicked. They were doing absolutely everything to get themselves noticed so they can get in, including painting themselves green.
Hello and welcome back to day 2 of 75 Green, where I'm painting myself green every single day until I get invited to the Wicked premiere. So let's go.
I'm sorry. she's painting herself green every day for 75 days.
It's a full-time job and it's extremely time consuming and it's not as easy as it may appear to some people.
I think it'll be really easy to do something like this because as a content creator, you could, if you're doing 75 days of painting yourself green, you could film this in bulk, really. You can change your outfit 5 times before you paint yourself green. No, that doesn't work. You could wear different outfits. Let's say 5. You're filming 5 days in bulk and change into those different outfits at different stages and just stand in different places. You know what I mean? And then you have 5 days in one day. Do I think this would work to get yourself invited to the premiere? Maybe not. Listen, some things that go viral are seen in a negative light. So good publicity isn't always good publicity. I know people say every publicity, no. What's it? No publicity is bad publicity. No, it is. No, it is. Especially in this day and age, you know what I mean? To paint yourself, okay, can I just comment on painting yourself green, right? Green has depth and undertone. A lot of people use the primary color green to paint themselves green. However, can we just, if we take a look at this shade of green, this is like face paint green and it's uneven, right? Just from a makeup artist point of view. Sorry to do this to you all. I know no one's here for the makeup. We look at Cynthia here. Can you see the yellow undertone to the green? It's an undertone that matches her undertone, her skin tone undertone. And there's contouring, there's depth to it, and it's a solid green. It's not that see-through green. You would have to use, but that's for a movie, so you would more than likely, as bad as it is, have to use something more alcohol-based so it stays on the skin and doesn't come off. Whereas a water-based face paint can be quite tricky to use. So that's why it doesn't look good. on the TikToker. So alcohol-based products or some dyes will stain the skin and don't come off easy. You have to use very special oil-based makeup removers to take them off. Alcohol-based you wouldn't use on the face, sorry, use it like on the body. But there are bases that are in dyes and paints that you have to have a special remover to take it off. Now, not everyone knows this, and it's really important to look into these things before you do it. Makeup artistry does have some depth to it. It's not just paint yourself and it washes off, you know, as we're about to find out here. In this video, we see someone called Lulu Orange, she's not orange now, and it says, when you dye yourself... It says, when you dyed your skin green for the LA premiere of the Wicked movie 6 days ago, but it turns out the dye you used was recalled by the manufacturer for producing permanent or otherwise excessively long-lasting results. And now doctors are saying that if your skin ever does return to normal, it won't be until all the cells regenerate. So you just have to go about your daily life as a literal green person. Well, you wanted to get in the spirit of a movie? Now you know how Elphaba feels, right? So her name is Louisa. As she said, she dyed her whole body and it's basically not gonna come off. Allegedly, right? The worst part of this is she was allegedly kicked out of her premiere, kicked off a red carpet. She didn't even get to see the movie after this dedication of dyeing her skin green. And the dye she used, apparently now there's a whole lawsuit, but that's another video. So with people doing basically anything to get into this premiere, you can probably see that a lot of people were disappointed, let down, maybe didn't get into these premieres, but like also what's the expectation that you're going to be invited to these things?
I just want to tell everyone out there to be kind to each other and to be nice to each other.
People were all over Twitter about it as well. This person said, this is so unfair. I got DM'd by Jeff and he invited me to a premiere. and that I had to contact his booking agent. Everyone who worked at the venue kicked me out and nobody would believe me. I drove 6 hours because I thought I got invited. And it's just added every single thing you could. I very much doubt that was real. Sarah, I'm sorry. This person says, stood in line for hours for the Wicked premiere at LA just for them to let only 20 people in. You know there's a chance that you're not going to be invited, like let in. You can't risk these things and then be like, and I didn't get my way. It's a risk you're taking. Don't complain. So everyone in Los Angeles got invited to the Wicked premiere except for me. Cool. The desperation just to see some celebrities is crazy to me. And there was a lot of celebrities there. They had like people like Trisha Paytas, if you want to call her a celebrity. Jeff Goldblum, of course, who's in the movie. The Kardashians, again, if you want to see them. And of course, Cynthia and Ariana. Speaking of Ariana, let's move on to something else. Let's talk about this person, right? This is super fan of Ariana Grande, Paige. And she's obviously trying to look like Ariana Grande, and she kind of does. I think she's the one who makes my face hurt because she's constantly pulling this face and it's really annoying. But she's a super fan. She had nearly 12 million followers across social media, Instagram and TikTok. She basically tried to sneak her way into the premiere. Again, that entitlement of feeling like you should be invited. She was escorted off the premises. Now, as a quick side note to this, it's reported apparently that Ariana has hated this girl for years and years and years, right?
Have you ever confronted anyone who's impersonated you?
No.
Have you ever wanted to?
Yes. In a fun way.
Yeah.
Paige would copy every single thing she does, I guess trying to upkeep that look-alike thing. But she would go as far as to lose and gain weight as Ariana did, which is crazy to me. And just after trying to attend its premiere, both her Instagram and her TikTok accounts were removed from the platform, like gone. And it's allegedly because she had started an OnlyFans account where she was impersonating Ariana Grande. Like, that's twisted. And it wouldn't be, I wouldn't see it as a, out of order for Ariana herself to have had enough of this person selling OnlyFans on the platform that she looks like Ariana Grande, on that, like, I'm a look like, come and look at me naked. That's weird. That is really fucking weird. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ariana had removed herself. I would be over it. I would be over it by then. Anyway, premiere seemed to go really well. People were like trying to get, images of the outfits because the outfits were incredible. The cast, everything like that. The premiere looks very typical. As I said, they let all like the influencery people in first and like your TV celebrities, and then the celebrities come in. All looks pretty normal. Of course, it's raining in London. It looks like it's going well. Cynthia and Ariana look happy. The audience, the attendees look very happy. Now, this could be a separate video itself, but people have been coming out the past few days saying that the premieres weren't as perfect as they were made out to be. So this is like retweeting a tweet. Someone says, about tonight, Wicked movie. This guy is the one who invited everyone to the Wicked premiere in London yesterday. If you want to go next year, now you know. But be careful because they'll treat you like absolute garbage, making you feel ridiculous. This makes the premiere look amazing when in reality, we were all treated awfully by security and then let in late to the point of seeing nothing. And this is about the London one as well. Wicked premiere being one of the worst experiences of my life. I'm actually going to cry. If you saw me crying for 3 consecutive days in South Bank because of how disorganized the Wicked premiere was, no, you didn't. I would love to see more stories from people as they come out with stories of a premiere once the hype is kind of over. Okay, so let's quickly recap on everything so far, right? There were a few more things that people weren't happy about. Ariana Grande wearing a wig, for example, popcorn buckets, people singing in a cinema, which I get. Shut up. If you're going to the movies, if you're going to watch a show on stage, just shut up, sit there, whisper like this. You don't need to be talking at this level. Quiet. We've had dramas with the fans, but what about Ariana and Cynthia themselves?
Warning, we may be seeing the last of these two, as many are terrified that both their lives are in danger and they won't survive. People were terrified after thousands of videos suddenly went viral claiming that Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo are looking vastly eerie in their before and afters, saying they seem to be depriving themselves of something, fearing they might not be around much longer. Given the previous star of The Wizard of Oz, Judy Garland, was told by executives that she looked like a fat little pig with pigtails and was encouraged to smoke 80 cigarettes a day, which later contributed to her demise, and now many think this is happening all over again. Haunting viral blind items were being shown that Ariana Grande allegedly had stumbled and fainted multiple times backstage, and others saying both Ariana and Cynthia were going as far as competing in this department.
This A-list singer/actress fainted/stumbled multiple times yesterday because she refuses to eat. And again, this is allegedly Ariana Grande.
However, you should never judge people's bodies based on appearance. They're likely not doing this, and neither should you. It could just be stress.
I think it's a very physical, taxing movie from watching it. I do think on situations like... Wait, let me find it. I did see these pictures, and people do need to understand lighting at the same time, right? They are outside. Outside lighting isn't complimentary in any way. It will show up every crevice. It will show up everything. So yes, like Cynthia's neck, for example, which I'm sure people are worried about for some reason, may look a little bit scary, but when they're on the red carpet and in the dark and there's lighting, it softens it. Ooh. It softens things up a little bit. In interviews, it softens things up a little bit. I don't know why they link it back to the original Wizard of Oz, because back then they were ruthless and they would be like, you're fat, smoke cigarettes. But this is a newest drama, their weight loss and how skinny they are. Are they slim? Sure. Ariana Grande's tiny. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what's healthy and what's not. There was a rumor, very allegedly, that Ariana Grande was told to lose 15 pounds for her role, which... From where? And people are saying, you know, this is why they're crying all the time in their interviews, because they're just so stressed and worn out and tired. And it's a weird one to talk about, because you shouldn't feel so entitled to talk about people's weight. And I know they are, you know, public figures and stuff like that, and it's expected for people to be assholes. But we can't be like, you're anorexic, which is what people are alluding to, just because they you know, look a certain way, or because the lighting's a certain way, or... You know, and we can't speculate that and take it as truth because allegedly someone fell over at the same time. I think until you have hardcore evidence, stuff like this shouldn't really be spoken about. Or, sorry, people shouldn't be accused of this kind of stuff, because it could be quite damaging. If somebody is quite, you know, not confident in their body, and then someone's like, oh, you look anorexic. It's like, oh, great, now I look shit again. It's just not, it's not great. However, at the same time, they are role models themselves. They should be careful. It's a difficult one to talk about because there's a lot of like, but, you know? Let's hope that they are both okay and healthy, right? As I said earlier, if you are going to see this, unless it is literally the sing-along version, please do not sing out loud.
Conquering my stage fright by singing in a crowded theater. Preparing for the big finish. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. Here goes nothing. Hold it. Almost messed up. Wait for it. Nailed it. So proud of myself.
You shouldn't be. I would be pissed off. I would have you banned and kicked out. Listen, I have not paid to come to see this movie, watch it the whole way through, nearly fucking 3 hours, to get to the end point, to that one song, to hear you and Nick behind me averagely singing against Cynthia. Are you crazy? I would have thrown something at you. I would have been so fucking pissed off. Idiots. Leave a pink or a green heart. Who do you think you're most like if you've seen the movie? Glinda or Alphaba? Leave a pink or green heart in the comments. Let me know what you think of everything included in this video. Does there have to be drama around everything? Would you sing out loud in the cinema because you think you're the main character? Let me know down below. Also, I know he's trying to get over his stage fright. Just sorry, really quickly. Do that in your own time. Do that in your own time when I haven't paid for an experience. What an idiot. Anyway, bye.